Hello, this is Dave Spicer with IMOK Security, and today we're going to demonstrate our 3 tiers of monitoring technology. The first is alerting friends and family. Then there's adding to that notification centers, which would be centralized monitoring stations. And lastly, 24/7 professional monitoring systems that the kinds of people who monitor and provide security for your homes today. In our scenario today, we have 2 phones. These are simulators that you see on the screen. And although the simulators are actually connected to our live network, so they'll be interacting with the technology as a real phone, and in fact communicating with my real iPhone that's sitting next to me here. Let's bring up the application on both phones. And what we're going to do now is go through and look at how the alerts are configured. So on the iPhone on the left, we're going to look at who gets alerted here, and this has been set up by Alan himself. And the first thing he's going to do is he's going to alert his friend Andy Agent, which is the Android machine on the right. Secondly, he's going to alert or notify his brokerage. He works for Bob the broker, and Bob has set up a notification center using a browser so he can monitor the security of all of his agents. And lastly, he's going to send an alarm to the Jones security system that provides his security for his home today and can now monitor him personally using the same technology. So let's go back to our main screen here, and let's take a look at the other participants. So if we go back to look at the browser, this is Bob the broker, and he's using some technology and services from one of our partners. This is the Center for Agent Safety that's providing notification services for the real estate industry around the country. And Bob the broker is part of that. And what all he needs really to participate is a browser. And then if we go over and look at the next participant here, this is the Jones security company, and they monitor Alan's home. In addition, they can now monitor his personal security using a product called Manitou from another partner of ours. This is the Bold Technologies Limited company in Colorado. This provides this technology for the largest security companies in the world. And what we've done is integrate IMOK into their system, and we'll be showing you how that works. Here's what an operator would see normally, and this is just an alarm cue waiting for something to happen. So we're going to go back to our phones. And before we get things started here, we're going to go in and modify his alerting group. As I said before, he currently alerts Andy Agent, but for this demonstration, we're going to have him alert myself as well. So we'll go in and find me in the system. We'll say add, and we'll refresh one more time, and now I'm part of his alert group. So now when he hits his button, he's going to alert not just his friend Andy, but also myself. The other thing we should do before we actually hit the red button is tell you what's going to happen before it happens, because it's going to happen very quickly. The IMOK push technology simultaneously sends messages around the system, and all the participants get to see the same information at the same time. So when Alan hits the red button, what's going to happen is he's going to send an alert to his friend Andy on the Android machine. And as you see, we just added myself to that list. So you're going to hear my real iPhone chime in the background. It's sitting right next to me. And I'll be participating from my real iPhone. In addition, he will be sending a notification to his broker, Bob the broker, who's monitoring him on the browser. And then lastly, he'll send an alarm to his security company, Jones Security, who has the Manitou system. And you're also going to hear some noise here because my phone is going to chime. You're going to hear the browser sound off because Bob the broker has a browser up and running, and so you'll hear an audible alarm there. But let's go and get started here. Okay, so you see lots of things happening at the same time. We're going to say monitor on the Android machine. We're going to bring up the browser and say monitor there so we can silence the audible alarm. And my iPhone, you might probably have heard in the background, has also chimed in here. So let's bring our phones back up, and we can see that Alan has begun his alarm. And he's going to say, hold up, just so everybody knows what's going on. And so you see everybody's getting that message, including my phone. I'm going to say, are you okay? You probably hear it clicking in the background. So you'll see a message from me come in, and there I am. So his friend Andy can also say, I'm here. And you'll see everybody gets that message. And of course, here's Bob the broker on his browser. He's getting all the same information. He'll say, Bob is here. And lastly, let's go to Jones Security. And we see a new record it's popped up, and this is Alan Agent. This is his current alarm that just happened. So as a operator at Jones Security, I'm going to bring up the Manitou system and see what's going on here. And you see there are 3 records that have brought up. At 11:12 rather, we have the panic alarm. It's an "Are you okay?" alarm to distinguish it from other kinds of alarms. And we're sending in the phone number of Alan's phone. Now, this is not the phone number that came out of his contact information because he may be traveling. He may have a new SIM card in his phone. So this is the phone number out of his phone at the instant he hit the alarm button. And another record here is his map. So this is technology built into the Manitou system. So we're going to click on that and view the map. So this is the map out of the Manitou system showing where Alan is at the instant he hit the alarm. But of course he's traveling. So we can go back here. And there's one more record we gave him. The operator now has the ability to click on this binary document and view that document and bring up a new browser window. And be instantly connected to the entire scenario now. So his browser, this is the operator's browser now, has the same information as everybody else. So he can say, Jones is here, and everyone's now getting that. Let's go back to our phones and see what else we can do here. If Bob is really, or if Alan is really under duress on his iPhone, he can disable calls. So he's going to hit that green call button and send a disable calls message to everybody, turning the calls button red so that Andy knows not to call. In fact, he can't call. In addition, if Alan was under duress, he could actually silence the phone and turn it black and disable the display and to preserve battery. Although Are You Okay would still be running in the background, updating everybody with his coordinates every 90 seconds. So let's re-enable calls here so everyone can call him. And we'll go back to Andy's phone, and we see a bunch of pins popping up here. So the red pin is Alan's current location. And of course, it's being updated every 90 seconds. So let's click on that. We can see the address. Alan is now in Roswell, Georgia, and there's the street address. In addition, Andy can actually help remotely by touching the police fire button here at the top. The system will go out and get the closest police and fire department to where Alan is. So now he could call the police or fire on behalf of Alan in the event that was necessary. So we can dismiss that. And if we go over to the browsers, here's the Jones alarm system, and they can also do the same thing. So if they click on the address button, they get the same address, of course. They can find out where Alan is at this instant, again, because he could be moving. In addition, they have a police fire capability, so they can find the closest police and fire to a moving target, which is Alan, and call them directly. If we go back to Bob the browser, of course, he has the same capability. There's about the brokerage. And of course could do the police and fire thing as well. So let's go back to our phones. And find out where all these pins are. So let's go to the phone on the left, that's Alan, and find the pin for Andy. So he can, using his gestures on the iPhone, he can squeeze this down. That green pin is me. I'm 14 miles away, and he could call me directly by touching that call button. If we continue squeezing this down, we're going to find out that his friend Andy was actually in California. You could call him directly, and we find out that he's 2,000 miles away. So everyone can see where everyone else is at. All the displays are being updated simultaneously using our push technology. And the coordinates are being updated every 90 seconds from Alan's phone. So now let's go ahead and end the situation here. And so when Alan hits the end button, everyone will be notified that the situation is now over. The browsers all indicate the same thing, as does Jones Alarm. So that's terminated. And if we go back to the Manitou system at Jones Alarm, we can close this out. We see we have two new records here. These are the restoral records. So it turns out that the alarm, according to the records, initiated at 11:12. It terminated at 11:18. And we also have another map here. This would show, using the Manitou system, the ending location when Alan hit the end button, restoring the alarm. So there you have it. We've got basically, Are You OK is similar to what you might think of as OnStar. It's in your pocket. It works globally, and it integrates with everyone, so everyone can collaborate simultaneously to help the person with the problem. Pretty straightforward. Thank you very much, and we thank our partners.